everyone respected that I wanted to get clean. Coleman's helped me out tremendously. They've saved my life. At a very young age, I began experimenting with oxycodone, and I was instantly addicted. And then it just progressed and progressed, and before I knew it, the only thing I wanted was drugs. My dad passed away in 2015 in February, and that's when I hit rock bottom. I was on the streets, I was living with friends off and on, and I just wanted to be with my dad so bad. I missed him. He was like my best friend, you know, and that's when I started shooting heroin. I was ready to leave this world, and I went to this homeless shelter in Kenton, and they could tell that I was on drugs. So he told me that we could not accept you here because this isn't a detox facility. This is for people that are on the streets and they're trying to, you know, better their life. I left there and I was walking around, it's pouring down rain, and I seen this cop and I asked him what to do. He told me, well, if you're very serious about it, I recommend you go out to Harbor Memorial Hospital and try to get help. I went in there and told them everything, and they said, well, we can't help you. And they were about to discharge me. And I just looked at the nurse and I said, well, what if I told you I'm gonna kill myself when I leave here? And they're like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious. When you're sticking a needle in your arm, you're pretty much suicidal, you know? And that was the best thing I ever did. I ended up falling asleep, and there was a young girl from Coleman that came there in the middle of the night, and she got me accepted into Arrowhead Behavioral Health. And then after I got out of there, I went to it's the crisis center here in Lima, and I stayed there for almost 3 weeks to just get me stabilized on my medication. With Coleman, I just kept working with them, and they just kept leading me in the right direction. I started working with the maintenance man. It took a few months for me to become an employee of Coleman, but I finally got in there after about 3 or 4 interviews. Everything seems to be working now that I've got all my medicine sorted out, the right doses, and now the end of this month, the 27th, I'll be coming up on 1 year clean. So I finally got my own apartment over here. I'm working on getting my license back. I have a full-time job. I truly believe that if it wasn't for Coleman, I don't even know if I'd be here today. They've done everything for me. So with them seeing that I'm actually serious about my recovery and I really do want it, I mean, the sky's the limit now, you know.
I've been here almost 14 years. And in the last year, I've gotten help from Coleman. We became homeless when I was 11. I had a sister that passed away when I was 15. My twin sister, I just gave up on my life. She was all I had. I would run away and I would sleep under bridges. Horrible things happened. And I always had bad luck. But I didn't know that I had mental issues. I was getting beaten by my husband that I married right out of high school. So I was homeless and pregnant, and I had to do something, and I didn't want my daughter to grow up thinking it's okay to get beat. Her father didn't want nothing to do with her or me. At the time, I was thinking I'm gonna do what's right for her, and I did for 4 years. I did what was right. I lived in a nice little house. Everything was great, and I got pregnant again, and it got worse. That's when he started beating me up, and that started making me feel like I couldn't take care of my children by myself. And when my husband left, I lost my house. I was losing my mind. I said, you know, I had to give my kids up because it was best for them. So I had to go live under a bridge with my cat, because I didn't know about Coleman. And so I went to the Samaritan House the second time, and they said, well, it's for people with mental problems. So I finally got the nerve to go in and sign up. And when I did, I think that's what changed my life. Everybody was real friendly. Like, I was expecting people to look down on me because I had nowhere to live. And she goes, no, that's okay, that's fine, don't worry about it. And that made me feel like I was welcomed there, you know? Like, I never felt that from anybody before. So they finally gave me on some medication, and they got me a counselor, a really great counselor, and they got me into my really great apartment. And I wouldn't have to worry about being on the street, worrying where I have to sleep, worrying if that guy's gonna rob me, worrying if that guy's gonna beat me up and rape me. I could come home and shut my door and feel safe. I wake up, I just got my cat, I got my bed, I'm in my apartment where I'm safe. I couldn't be happier.
Consider myself, I guess you would say I was a mama's boy. When my mom was sick with cancer, that span of a year, you know, I had lost my mom, my wife, my two youngest daughters. So just like you just like at a big hole, I became kind of like unemotional, unattached. The layoff came, and after that came in March. So it just seems like everything that I had worked for, things just started one by one was falling apart. I contemplated a suicide. I thought about it often. I wasn't happy, and I just didn't want to lose anything else that I had already worked for. I decided I thought I would sell drugs at that time, but I done what I done for my kids. When I got released from jail, that I knew that my whole life had changed. I was at the end of my rope. I had nobody else to talk to. Nobody. Child support had sent me through FACT.
The FACT program is Fathers Accountable for Children's Tomorrow. It's a collaborative program between Allen County Child Support Enforcement Agency and Coleman Behavioral Health, as well as some other local agencies that come together to serve fathers who owe child support obligations, who also have felony convictions and mental health diagnosis or alcohol or drug problems, to help them overcome the barriers that they're experiencing that have kept them from being long-term successful.
It was after one of the classes, and physically and mentally I was drained. The days leading up to then was like the end. So the only person I could reach out to was to Julie. And I told her I just have to talk to somebody now. And she had got me into Coleman that day. That was the day that changed. And I said, if it hadn't been for FACT or Coleman or Julie that day, I know I wouldn't be sitting here now. And that's when I started going through the counseling, and found out that I'd always looked at depression as a weakness. I never thought that I had the problems that I was going through was due to, like I said, depression from stemming back from when my mom had passed away. So I had never known that it could even last that long, and I had never gotten any help. So if it had not have been for them or Julie, I know I wouldn't be sitting here now, because I would have never gotten the help through Coleman's that I'm getting now. I put in my time in those classes. I went to my classes, and then the job that I hold now, they hooked me up with the employer. It suits me. I supervise at a pizza station. It's a lot more relaxing. It's been a long time since I enjoyed going to work. I'm a lot happier. I'm a bigger man than I have been in a long time. I think my kids, they like it, and they've all came out at least once to come out there and get something to eat. They always leave me with the tab, but they all come out.